Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Last Class Podcast, episode 60. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to episode 60. How do you feel?
I'm alive, man. I feel great, dog. I appreciate that, man. How are you feel?
I feel accomplished. Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year.
Yes,
we made it
indeed.
to 2025, and today we're going to start it off with a bang. We got special guest.
Hey, I'm Kingdom, y'all.
How you doing?
How you doing, King?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
It's been a long day, man. Yeah, it's been a crazy day, man. But first off, how were y'all's? How was y'all's New Year's? Let's just go off with that.
I'm trying to remember mine.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it was good.
Okay.
I'm still here.
Got you. That's always great.
Nice.
So, yeah, how was yours?
Ours was kind of lit. I'm gonna be
Yeah, it
honest.
was pretty good.
Yeah. So, I invited Pablo over here to our house to so he can experience one of our parties. And I don't know, man. You let me know how that went.
Yeah, it was. Let's just say I didn't drive back home,
goodness.
so it was good.
That's
it was
good.
good.
Yeah, it was a blast.
It was a safe
you know.
environment. That's what I love the most. Like when you're with the right people, it's always a blast.
Hey, Pablo.
Absolutely.
Your dad is funny, bro.
Oh my god, that was so funny, dog. My dad would literally make so many jokes about like TikTok and shit. It was funny as hell. But anyways, going back to this, King. All right, so you go to GGC, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what do you study?
I study criminal justice and criminology.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
What made you get into that?
So many reasons.
Oh.
Just so many. I mean, who isn't frustrated sometimes with the system?
I hear that.
And I know it's not easy to fix it, but if some people can make some aspects better or make things better for people's individual lives, then I think that progress is being made.
wow. What got you into that? What made you want to study it?
Just seeing everything going on in the world, honestly, and issues that I've come across, my family members have come across. A lot of things have to do with the legal system, essentially.
Okay.
And knowing the laws, knowing your rights helps a lot. I mean, it's not always easy to get a hold of a lawyer. And so that's another reason why I was like, you know what, let me do this so that my family has a crutch if ever needed.
Right. Or like anyone like close to you, important to you,
Yeah.
of course. Right.
Absolutely.
No, it's very valid. to
It's
be
important
honest.
to know people like that.
It is.
Yeah, to have
Genuinely.
good connections, you know.
I
Especially-
always tell people, just don't tell me all of the truth if you don't want me saying anything, because I have a liability to say. So, like,
Oh, really? Oh, but I thought it was just more like you let me know everything that happened so I don't like, you know.
oh yes, but I sometimes need, deniability for certain things.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
So
got you.
yeah.
yeah. Because there's certain things that are allowed, but really not necessarily right.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, that's cool. So what keeps you motivated throughout your, your education?
That is a great question. I think just wanting to better my future and others, because in this career field, you do help others. It is about helping others. And so why not help others, but also help better myself and my future? I feel like it's a really good career to get into because you always have work, because people are always having problems.
Yeah,
That's true.
honestly, that's what's the world at this point. That's what the world is: conflict and problems.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, what has been like one of the craziest cases that you heard about?
Okay, so personally, I like the criminal stuff.
Right.
So all of like the murder cases, the crazy ones, the serial killer ones.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's a little crazy to be that intrigued in it, but they're so fascinating.
Yeah. What goes to their
And
minds and stuff?
Yeah, what goes through their minds, the psychological aspect of it. As far as what case interests me the most, I can't pinpoint one because there are just so many that I like on the criminal side. And I guess my favorites would be more so the serial killer ones, but I've gotten into a lot of like white collar crime cases lately. I
okay.
did do a white collar crime class, and I got a lot more interested in it after that class. The only thing is, I feel like that's a little more dangerous if you really want to get into it, because you're dealing with really powerful people.
Oh.
And
okay.
if you, step on some wrong toes, it's a little difficult for you.
Okay. I see where you're coming from.
So how do you really know when not to cross that, like to get to that point?
Honestly, I don't think I will know until I get there. So I'm still like deciding whether I want to do like defense attorney or prosecutor. I know as a prosecutor, you usually work like in the court. So you're the one who honestly has most of the power. You even have kind of more power over the judge,
Right.
because it's what you want in the court. So you set your like standards, like this is how I want this to go, and the judge kind of mediates, and then the defense team is just defending, and they're trying to present evidence and stuff. So the prosecutor kind of has most of the power.
Right. Because they're just trying to make their case. They're trying to prove their point, and you're just like, nah, I don't like that.
Yes, exactly. So,
Oh wow. Okay. Well, this semester, is this gonna be your last semester? Or how
Yes.
long have you been in school for?
ooh, I've been in school a little bit too long. So hopefully this is my last semester. I started in summer of 2019.
The summer. What?
Oh no, I started in summer classes.
wow.
It was great though. I really liked it.
Okay.
I
Is
really
it-
did like the
Was
summer.
it like just the core basic classes in the summer?
It was.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I can see.
It
You can knock those
definitely
out
was.
really quick.
Oh yes, it was great.
Goddamn.
I was like, ooh, 4.0 at the end of this. Yes.
Must be nice. I'm at a 3.7 right now, dog. I'm trying
Don't
to get
even
up there.
ask me mine.
Oh my gosh. But considering those classes, I just want to know, like, which one's your favorite class, or just out of your whole semester, or like your education, which one has been your favorite class and why?
Okay. I think that I really liked ethics. Ethics was in like the earlier stages of my college career.
Okay.
I feel like everyone needs to take an ethics class. It's so
Yeah.
essential to function, honestly, and to be able to be considerate and mindful of other people. And it helps you make better decisions. And so I really like the ethics class, but then something more related to, I guess, my major would be maybe victimology. I liked that
okay.
one.
Elaborate on that.
So in like the victimology class, we learned about, I guess, different categories of victimization, different kinds, and the way that it impacts the people. So there was a lot of psychology involved in that class. Another one from actually last semester was deviance and social control that I really liked too.
What was that all about?
Quite fascinating. We talked a lot about basically, I mean, I have the notes, so I can look at them. Let me see.
Yeah, no, you can go ahead and check them out.
So
your
let me
thing.
see.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't know, like, while she's doing that, but honestly, dude, I feel like law was always such an interesting aspect. Like, I always thought about it as, like, something that's very important. It's just, like, you shouldn't cross any lines because, you know, that's the law, obviously. And the law keeps, it's the law. And the law keeps changing every day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes people don't even be agreeing with it, and it's.
I mean, do you agree with some laws?
I'm gonna be completely honest. Certain ones are, they're a bit questionable, but
Okay.
it's not up to me to determine that. So
Right. But yeah, no, I always thought about, I kind of wanted to be a lawyer in the beginning because I really like, I don't know, I just like talking to people and making connections. But then again, it's also more like you're defending your point. You're kind of arguing a lot more. I know a few people, and we're going to have someone that is on their way to like almost at the bar exam area to become a lawyer. And I'm talking to them about that. So we might have them on here. You know, we
never
might.
know.
Exactly. So tune into that one as well. But
Nice.
let's go back to you. What's going on?
So deviance and social control talked a lot about like laws, taboos, morals, and deviant behavior is anything that's considered abnormal.
Okay.
And then the class really dissected how deviance can lead to criminal behavior and criminal acts. And so that one was quite interesting. We, for some reason, got onto the topic of like swingers because that's
Swingers?
technically deviant.
Really?
It's abnormal. And so like oh my gosh, we had a lot of like side discussions during that class about things that had nothing to do with it, but did at the same time.
What's it called? When swingers, isn't it like if they have like a pineapple or like something like I don't know what it was. It's a pineapple?
The upside down pineapple.
Oh.
And then we started talking about how different color loofahs also mean different things in other areas. And I was like, this is interesting.
I have never, wait,
I'm
what?
gonna be completely honest.
I've never heard of that one.
Our last
clueless.
module was on furries. I was like,
In school?
in school, in my criminal justice class, I was like, okay, this is
Wow,
nice.
okay. I mean, what was your reaction? You were just
man.
like, are we supposed to be learning this? Like,
No, I was really confused. And she
Okay,
was like, well,
okay.
this is deviance. And I was like, Is it criminal? Like, what?
It's just animals, dog. Like,
No,
what's
for
going
real.
on? What's going on here?
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
But there's a lot of psychological aspects that go into it that, again, link back to criminal behavior. So
No, for
No.
sure.
that's how she linked it all together. I was like, okay, I guess that works.
Okay. Do you think those actions and those those actions could have been avoided if they grew up differently, or like nature versus nurture? Could that have been a catalyst to what happened when they grew up?
I definitely think so. We learned about their upbringings for sure, whether or not they had two parents in the home, what their economic status was like, what their environment was like, their schooling, whether or not their schools pushed for higher education, because there are a lot of districts that do push for higher education in schools and a lot that don't necessarily encourage their students like they should.
Okay. Now, like, do you believe that too? Like, you believe like that a lot of people, depending on how they just how they come out, like, you know, how
they're raised.
Yeah, how they've been raised could affect everything, like leading up to, like, you know, being 18 and just like going on to the real world.
I absolutely do. The way that people are raised can really, really determine how they operate in society, whether or not they're like law-abiding citizens or whether or not they're more rebellious. And I really think that it's almost like the community's duty to do more. For example, like our school does Friday Night Lights. Our old director put that in place because he wanted a place for college students to come that was safe instead of going like out clubbing and drinking and stuff. So that's why he extended it to like 12 o'clock, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.
Right.
And he tried to make it like a nice, fun, safe environment so that we could go there.
Well, speaking about that, yesterday was Friday Night Lights, you guys. I had to work that. It was interesting. You know, you guys are going to see some pictures and videos coming up soon on the page if you guys follow. It was actually kind of boring, this one, though. I'm not going to lie.
was.
It was really boring. The reason why is because we usually do it outside, and it's like they have the basketball courts, they have like the intramural field, which is like a big playing field. People play soccer, football, anything you want. They usually have a lot of food out, and they have the DJ playing. But this one, we were inside the gym facility. So the BBF building.
really?
Yeah, so it was just very compact because there was a whole gym upstairs. So all they really had to, you know, I guess play with or use was really just the basketball court and I guess the racquetball court. The racquetball court, a few soccer people got in there and they were just playing with a soccer ball. And then, you know, they had some food. They had like some pizza and some wings and fruit.
It smelled good, but I didn't even go look for the
I'm
food.
not going to lie. The wings were good. The pizza was just, it didn't... It's pizza, bro. Like,
Yeah.
nah, it's dead. I don't.
We
I don't
used to
really
have
like
a Waffle House truck.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we had
A
a Waffle
Waffle
House
House
Yeah,
truck.
yeah, we
Yes.
did. But you know why they took it down?
Why?
Because it said it was unhealthy.
Yep. And we're the gym, so we have to promote health and wellness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that we got pizza. So explain that to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no explanation.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Where was the pizza from?
So I don't even know, bro. It was
feels like-
unmarked. I don't know.
It feels like Pizza Hut is like the same thing as Waffle House. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it was greasy as ever. No,
Yeah.
but it really wasn't good. To be honest with you, the
That's
pizza
good
wasn't
that they're
good. The
adding
wings,
a
though.
lot of extracurricular stuff to get people off of the bad habits and bad, influences out there and just
in the streets.
the streets.
I mean, you know what I'm
literally.
saying? That's kind of really it. You know, I'm not gonna lie, because I talk to a lot of people, and a lot of people just like, oh, I'm gonna go to the club, this and that. I'm like, yeah, I understand. Enjoy your time a little bit. Go out, but just be safe. That's really it. Just I got so effed up, like this and that. But like, what do you get out of that? You know what I mean? It's like if you're gonna indulge in a little bit of alcohol or drinking, like do it to a point where you're just having a good time, not to the point where you're getting like shit faced.
Whacked out.
Yeah. But yeah, like, do you have an experience like with people like doing that and like in front of you, and you just like, dude, like you
What
try
are
to
you
help
doing?
them,
So
but
much.
it's just like
It
can't
honestly
help
like
them.
turns me off from alcohol, and I'm
Right.
like, ugh. I'm like, I don't want to act like that.
they just start stumbling and like they can't talk.
Yeah.
Like they're just like they're literally mumbling so bad and they can't actually pronounce
Yeah.
any words.
No, honestly, I've been there, so I'm like, ooh, yeah, no, I don't like those days.
No, I got you. So I just really want to know. So you had a good amount of years in college. Now your degree, like how much are you gonna have to do extra education after you graduate?
Yes.
Okay,
I am.
can you tell me a little bit about that?
So I'm looking to go to law school.
Okay.
I know I haven't looked into, I guess, exactly where I want to go yet. I do have to take a test prior to doing so, but I haven't done it yet because I have a lot of new things in my life that are kind of popping up that are making me put a pause on it for a little bit. So I think so I think right after this semester, I'm going to just start working and try to handle those things first. And then I'll go back to school whenever I'm more stable.
I mean, do you want to talk about that or not?
Yeah, I can definitely, because it's something that has impacted like my entire college career, which is why I'm still here after all these years.
But you're here, and that's what's important.
I know.
You're almost there.
You're almost there. I'm
bro.
trying.
She's more than halfway there, bro. She's right there.
Trying to get there. But so I have a couple of like medical conditions, medical disabilities that have been popping up throughout my college career. And it does hold me back a little bit because of the appointments and the symptoms and missing class. And so that really, really hindered my progression in school. And so with my last senior year, I was like, we got everything under control. I get to just finish this. And then in the summer of 2024, I got diagnosed with another condition, which this one so far is the worst out of all of them that I've gotten. It is a brain condition called moya moya. It's a very rare brain condition. And so because of that, I've had to like replan everything and how I'm going to finish school, how I'm going to move forward after school and stuff, because the condition has progressed so much that I do need surgeries eventually, whether that be in the next month or two or in the next couple months. So that also kind of hinders me from finding a job within my career field right now or right after graduation, because I don't know exactly when the surgeries are going to be. It's a very delicate condition, so they don't want to rush into it.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah, you gotta be
very cautious about that.
I know.
Yeah. Like, so you said it's a very rare condition?
It is. I tried to look it up and it said that there were only like a little over 2,000 national cases. And so I was like, what? So when I looked it up, the cases were about maybe a little over 2,000 nationally. So it is quite a rare condition considering how many people are in the world.
And counting.
Yeah,
facts.
But because of it, I feel like a lot of the information that surgeons or doctors have may be a little limited. I don't want to think that way, especially considering they're going to be digging in my brain. But I did have an appointment earlier this week to discuss my last MRI. And we talked about the two different kinds of surgeries that I can have. So they're bypass surgeries. Basically, the condition is I'm not getting enough blood flow to my brain because I forgot what they're called, arteries on like the sides of my head, thin until they closed fully.
Okay.
And so when they did images of it, they saw that they were completely closed. And so out of the closed arteries, I started sprouting baby veins to like get blood into my head. So it looks like two birds' nests in my head. So the bypass surgery, they would be taking a vein from my scalp and kind of like inserting it to my brain. So they have the non-direct bypass, which is where they just kind of lay the donor vein on top of my brain and they let it grow baby veins, or a direct bypass surgery, which is where they attach the donor vein to the artery and that gives you immediate blood flow. So.
Wow.
What a
It's
story.
very interesting. So which one seems like more beneficial for you in that sense?
They don't know yet.
Okay.
Because so the direct one where they attach it directly to that one would be ideal for someone who is like in dire need of blood flow right now.
Right.
And then the one where they kind of lay it on top. So the indirect, it takes, I forgot how long she said, I think a couple months for it to start working and for you to start seeing results. After my MRI, they realized that my body at rest wasn't producing as much blood flow and oxygen to my head versus when it was under stress. And so they were like, okay, they were like, that's interesting that under stress you actually functioned better. So I think they might do the indirect one for me, but I'm not sure. I'll be getting another phone call on Tuesday or Wednesday to discuss more about it.
Wow. I hope it's very positive.
100%.
You get, you get
Appreciate
through that for sure, of course.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So do you, do you think, considering the stress that you get from school, do you think that kind of like made you, I guess, perform better? Like just like in general?
Like with school?
Yeah, with
itself?
school and just like other things, like when you're stressed, considering like, you said you get more blood flow to your brain when, you're stressed and whatnot. So considering like when you're in school, you're very stressed because you got exams, you got things to study for. Do you think that helps you a lot, considering the fact that's what it does?
I don't know. I think so, also because I've stayed active, and so I don't know if it's like more so mental stress or physical stress that they're referring to. But when they did the MRI, they injected me with some medication to put my body under stress, and I know it was a lot of physical stress for sure. And so I was like, maybe that's what it is. I guess working out actually helps. So
Yeah.
I mean,
It's positive in every form. I mean, there's no negative. Nothing's negative about it.
definitely.
for sure.
Nothing.
But as far as like the stress with the schoolwork, I think it does kind of help a little bit because I have like these moments where I'm just like on go mode and don't want to have anything interfering with my schoolwork. And then there are some times where I'm just like completely out of it and I don't want to touch it. I don't want to look at it. And yeah.
Okay.
Mentally, how do you really feel? Mentally.
That's a great question.
Yeah. Mentally, how do you feel?
To be honest, lately I have been in the dumps. I definitely have. I try to be very optimistic all the time. But I mean, with so much going on, and not just that, but I got diagnosed with another condition like a couple weeks ago. So I was like, oh, this is great.
It's like, time after time, another thing just keeps getting added onto your plate. And it's just like, damn, it's a lot of things like that you have to consider. And it's
I'm
just
trying to graduate.
exactly. But if you think about that, when you get past all of that, you can just say like, yo, I went through all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm still going. So
a great
it's just like,
story at the end
literally,
of this.
So glad we got you on here. We appreciate you being on here.
Appreciate it.
You got a busy schedule, but thank you for making time for
But
this.
it definitely
course.
shows resilience, and I respect that.
Appreciate it.
100%.
You know it, man.
Like 2019, I don't care if it's 2025. You're gonna get there eventually.
For sure.
Oh no, oh my
Literally,
god.
there's no timing on a degree. Come
Yeah,
on now,
for
it doesn't
sure.
matter. As long as you
Getting
did
it
it,
done.
you did it. Exactly.
Get it done.
Definitely.
You guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like when I first started like working, mind you, me and her working the same job. So when I first started working, I feel like it was you and one more person that like I kind of like not stuck to, but it was just more like you guys were like more opening and inviting and like accepting. And that's why I kind of stuck with y'all a little bit more, because it was just like when I first started, it was just like no one really, was there. So it was just like, it was really cool like having you there, and it's like I appreciate that so much, because it's just like I got you.
Of course.
You got me, I got you. You know
I
what I'm
got you
saying?
too.
And it's actually really cool because it's just having like a lot of connections and people like what you said, and support. Of course, it's actually it goes a long way.
It does.
Yeah, so that's great.
People need people.
If you don't
Literally.
mind asking, so how long have you had Bull?
Okay, so Bull is my service dog.
Mm-hmm.
He is on the floor over here.
You guys can't
Hopefully-
see him, but he's under the table.
Yeah, he's
Hopefully
on the
not
table.
snoring, but
He's
he
a
was
little pit
earlier. But I've had him since 2017.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an old man now, so he should be retiring soon. I think after graduation, I'm probably going to retire him.
Wow.
So I got him in 2017, and it was before I started having or before I got diagnosed with my first condition, like right before I got diagnosed with it. He was kind of like acting out right before I would go unconscious, and he kept doing that repeatedly. Eventually, I went to get checked out and got diagnosed with something called Graves' disease, and it's basically a condition with your thyroid, which is a butterfly-shaped gland in your throat, and it controls like your hormones and stuff like that. But because I was having issues with it, it ended up affecting a lot of other aspects of my body. And so I trained him myself because I was noticing that he could catch on to changes in my heart rate. I was like, you know what, let me see if I can actually train him. And I did end up training him to alert to cardiac conditions and respond to those medical episodes. Like going to get help if I'm somewhere passed out, or just staying with me, just for that comfort of knowing that something is there guarding
with
me.
you, right?
And he's a big boy, so
Oh yeah, he's big, man.
he's a big boy.
He's a big dog.
And so, he's definitely been with me since all of that. And he's been super helpful and just gives my family so much relief knowing that I'm not alone when I have those episodes.
Right.
And so, just great.
Wow. So I just wanted to know. So once he retires, like, do you know where he's gonna go, or is he gonna be like, oh, okay, so like,
Yeah.
where?
So it depends on where I am in life. I'm a very active person. I'm rarely ever home. And so he would retire as a pet. And that means, I can't take him everywhere I go with me. So he would either still be a pet for me or he would go to a family member. And I'm thinking he's going to go to a family member who has more time for him, considering that I do need another one after him. And so it would be too much with me having to remember to go home and take care of the dog, then going back out and doing all the things I have to do. Like right now I leave the house at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm not back until 10 at night. And he's with me the whole time. And so, but if he were home, then I'd have to go home.
Go back
and all
and
stuff.
no, I get you. How do you think? Do you think he's gonna feel once you get another one?
Oh, he's gonna be sad, and I'm gonna be sad.
No, seriously, I'm gonna miss seeing him at the gym and everything.
I know.
He's always just there. Every time I see King, I'm like, where is he? I'm like, where's Will? Where's Will? He's so cute. He got his little corner and everything. He has a little towel he sits on and just lays on. He has a little bowl
And
of
he
water.
has a heater.
Yeah, he does have a heater.
I gave him a heater.
The dog got him a like, bro, what? I was just like, there's no way. I don't even got a heater, man. I'm like, what? Nah,
He
it's
has
just
fur, but he shivers. I'm like, dude,
he's shivering right now.
literally, you would have
Give
fur.
him a blanket. Nah.
How do you explain everything when someone sees you walking in with a dog in a classroom?
Okay, so thankfully, I actually haven't had that many issues on campus with him. I had maybe like one professor like scream when she saw him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like,
she
scared?
was. Yes, she was not expecting to see him. I know my first semester, I sent out emails to all my professors, like warning them, but then I stopped doing that because I was like, I mean, he's allowed. He's a service animal, and so I mean, not gonna warn anyone. But yeah, no, other than that, I mean, it's just students really that kind of react to it. I had one student jump into a trash can.
A trash can.
I wish I would have
like
seen that.
she-
I really wanted to see
She
that.
ran into the wall away from us and accidentally fell in the trash can.
Dude, if you see Bull like walking or running, like you're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
like, if you don't know anything about it, you're gonna be a little alerted,
Yeah, definitely.
you know.
And then people do stare a lot at him and either ask for pictures or just take them without consent. And so, I mean, if I do see someone, I'll like ask them like, hey, please don't take any photos, especially not without asking. You know, don't touch him, because touching him, talking to him, stuff like that, it does distract him from his job.
Right.
And if something were to happen with me and he's not focused, then,
That could be catastrophic. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Have anybody seen you like differently by that? Like,
What do you mean?
Like, do they treat you a different
Like
way because of
different-
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, especially in businesses. I recently had an issue going to a restaurant that I used to frequent with them telling me that he couldn't be in there. I let them know it's a service dog. They started asking me for things that they can't ask. There are only 2 legal questions you can ask, and that's, is that a service animal, and what task is it trained to perform for your disability? They didn't ask any of those questions. They just said, he can't be in here. He's too big. Do you have an ID card for him? That's something that a lot of places do ask for, is an ID card, because there are a lot of online companies that have made it very easy for people to fake their pets as service dogs. For like $20, you can go buy an ID card that says that your dog is a service dog.
wow. What a scam.
It is. It's a scam, and it harms
up.
other people with real service dogs.
Yeah.
It takes up to 2 years to train one. And so
Right. I was gonna ask you. So how long did that training go for, Bo?
forever. So like technically 2 years, but you really like never stop training,
No, that makes
especially
sense.
when I would go through periods in my life where my health was doing good. Once it started to get bad again, I would have to kind of retrain him into his job so that he was fresh on it.
He was like, "Oh shoot, okay, I gotta remember to do
Right.
that." Like, yeah, okay, no, I understand. Wow, so you were talking about like in the restaurant, like this just happened, like how recent?
This happened yesterday.
Oh wow, this
It
was
just
really
happened
recent.
yesterday. And like I said, my emotions have really been in the dump lately. And so I really wanted to go out. I got nice and dressed up with my friend. We went out, tried to have a nice lunch, and then were met with a lot of issues. I tried to do things like the legal way. I tried to file a civil suit or a complaint, and it was just a whole bunch of things. And I didn't realize how expensive that stuff can be.
Legal costs, like stuff like
Super
that.
expensive.
Like what types of fees, if you know, like you know what I mean? Because you were telling me something about that before. Like,
Yeah, no. So I thought it would be like easy to just, file the complaint, file the suit, and then if it does take off, then I figured, I would have to pay if I needed a lawyer, but I didn't think it would have to get to that. But I also looked at it and it said that I can represent myself, and good thing I study law.
I was about to say that's great.
Some benefit to it.
I
So it's
can
free 99,
definitely represent
yeah.
myself,
Best price.
right?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that there were so many fees attached to it. It was like $450, $500 just to like file it, and I was like,
Oh, okay.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And that's just the first step. I was like, okay, oh, wait a minute. I don't know about this one.
Right. Wow, that's actually a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
It really is.
Yeah, no. I mean,
And
it's a lot.
that's like the civil side. So the civil side is like human rights and stuff. And then you have the criminal side.
talk
So
to
where
us.
a crime is committed. The police did show up at the restaurant. I was trying to like do it the right way and figure out which phone number and whatever, but I kept getting transferred until I got transferred to the police department. And I was like, I don't think I was supposed to get transferred to y'all because y'all can't really do anything about
Can't
it.
help me, right?
And even the officer was like, yeah, we can't help because this is civil. And we don't do civil. We only do criminal, and a crime technically wasn't committed. Though the law was broken by their actions, like a crime wasn't committed. And so I was like, okay.
Well,
so,
this is fucked.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
Yeah, that's definitely unfair.
literally.
That's unfair.
What the hell? Okay,
So-
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So so go a little bit to the left of that. I just wanted to know. So, with that diagnosis, has that affected your like work productivity and just like everything in general? Like when it comes to working, like schoolwork or just actual work?
Yes, I would say it has because of one of like the main symptoms is strokes. So you have a high risk of stroke since you're not getting enough blood flow to your head. I have had 2 already. And thankfully, by some miracle, I have not had any like lasting effects from the strokes. Whether that be vision loss or like loss of muscular function. And so in order to prevent future strokes, because they do seem to get worse every time I have them, to prevent that, that's why we're trying to pursue the surgery.
Right. So, in anything, so just wondering, so if that were to happen, if God, hopefully not, but if another stroke were to happen, do you like what are the procedures to like, take care of that?
Call 911
Okay.
immediately.
Yeah, I was making sure. Okay. I was making sure.
Yeah, immediately call 911. For me, so far, the most, the factor that indicates a stroke the most for me is my speech going out. Every time I've had them, my speech goes out first. I either start slurring or my words literally sound like you just typed a bunch of random letters and clicked play.
Like,
Yeah, they
okay,
sound,
gotcha.
it sounds crazy. And I'll get frustrated because I'll be like, wait a minute, that's not what I'm trying to say. And you can see the visible frustration until I start panicking. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're having a stroke. Okay.
Right.
What do we do? So, yeah, that definitely affects my productivity in life, work, school. Just being able to be out. I wasn't allowed to drive or lift anything or really do a lot for like the first couple months after the stroke.
Okay.
And so that definitely affected my daily life.
No, I mean, I understand that. Like, it's very. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say I understand, but it's just like I can tell, like, you know, it's something difficult to go through. You know, like having that kind of like the idea that, oh, bro, this could really happen like today, tomorrow, I don't know when. So like,
Yeah.
do you go into it with the mindset like, listen, tomorrow may not be here. I gotta enjoy what I have right now.
Honestly, that's why I dress like this all the time. I really do. I always make a joke that like I dress up all the time because whatever you die in is your ghost outfit. But I mean, so I always try to dress cute.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, you have one life, so might as well live it how you want. Be happy. Do what makes you feel good.
Right.
So I always try to dress nice because it makes me feel good.
That's great.
That's great. Be appreciative.
Of course. And you always rocking it too. You know what I'm saying? You be killing it. You be
I
killing
like
it.
it.
Yesterday was nice too. Like,
yeah.
Like she was out here looking like a lawyer.
Facts.
Seriously.
I know.
It was fire. Our,
Yeah.
our outfits were low key matching. He told me. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
you
shit,
guys
you're
were-
so right. Our outfits were low key matching.
They were nice.
Yeah.
We should have taken flick. It's a whatever. It's all right. Next time.
Next time.
Next time. All right. Now, is there one thing, like, what should people know about the legal system, you know, and just in general? Like, a lot of people do not know, but they should know.
Yeah.
You can tell
in
them.
case.
So yeah, everything for one is accessible. You can find information anywhere. Now finding like good information you'll find on mostly like government websites and stuff.
.gov.
So that'll give you all like the right information. But as far as accessing your rights, you can look all of that up. The one thing that I think people should know like the back of their hand is their rights, especially when dealing with the police.
Okay.
Dealing with getting pulled over, because that's something that most people are going to experience more than anything. And so I think knowing what to do in certain situations, I think a lot of people definitely just comply
Right.
because they don't know what to do.
And they're scared.
They are scared.
Yeah.
And so definitely knowing what your rights are, how to proceed, how to operate in those situations is very important.
Okay.
Like for one, if you're getting pulled over, if
yeah.
you don't feel safe, you can drive to a safe location.
Right.
You can drive to a well-lit area. You can drive to the police station.
Right.
Just, put your hazards on, drive a little slower, but that helps to indicate that, I'm going to pull over, but you just want to get to a safer
Okay. See that?
place.
I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I had an idea of that, but I just pull over immediately. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I feel like it's the fact that you don't know what could happen.
Yes.
I feel like that's it.
Definitely.
You never
Scary
know.
part right
yeah,
there,
it's
yeah.
like you don't know if they're having a good day. You don't know what type of cop they are. You just honestly just go with it. Just follow the rules, bro.
Absolutely. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Bubba, come here. Right now. Come here. He's like wandering. Come. Bubba. Do not make me get up. Come
Bubba.
here. Come here now. I don't hear your feet.
Who's getting? Oh well,
Come.
he laid over here. Over there.
Come.
He's like, oh shoot, she calling me.
Come. Yeah, I see you. Leash.
No, it's all right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Where were we at?
You're talking about
Lay down.
like getting pulled over and
Pull
whatnot.
over.
Oh yeah, just for your safety, I would always say try to go somewhere where you feel safe. So again, if it's dark out, go somewhere well lit. If you don't trust that it is a police officer, because there are a lot of instances where it might not be a police officer, it could be someone impersonating.
that's
You never
definitely has
know.
happened.
Right.
And so even if you get like that little inkling of something feels off, make sure you protect yourself by doing things like that, going somewhere well lit, either driving to a parking lot that's, well populated or well lit, or again, driving straight to the police station, the nearest police station.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but have you been driving, or someone you know has been driving, and the cop will purposely be on your tail, no matter how fast you're going, and then once you don't want to get hit by the actual cop car, you start to speed up and the lights turned on?
I just move out the way. If they are
I just take the right into the
me,
parking lot, to
I
be
will
honest.
move
Like,
out
yep.
the way. I'm like, I'm not speeding up, and I don't want to get pulled over for speeding up. I'm just gonna move over here and let you pass.
Yeah, this happened to me on a two-way. Well, I didn't get stopped, but you know, I couldn't get out of the way because if I turn left,
Get out the way.
this car's coming.
Yup.
So yeah, I don't know if they're just bored or something. I just don't understand why they want to, you know, provoke somebody.
Yeah.
So that's questionable.
I know a lot of times they get frustrated when everyone drives slow around them. So sometimes that's why they'll like ride someone's tail so they can move out the way. They're like, I have places to go too. Why is everyone slowing down? Why are y'all so scared?
I mean, you're a freaking cop. No one wants to go, not even like 10 over the speed limit. You're like, oh, woo. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to have that. But it's funny because that's like me. I was driving one time, it was like a 45, right? And then there was a cop right next to me. I just like literally, I just stopped. I see my peripherals. I'm just like, oh, he's right there. He's looking at me, bro. So I just turned my head, turned it left, right? And then next thing you know, like I just waved. I'm like, what's up, dog? And he goes, what's good? I was like, oh, okay. He just like Reno hit a little, what's up? I was like, all right, dog, whatever. So then, you know, I'm just like, oh, I have to get on the left side, you know? And he was going a little slow. So, you know me, I was just like, well, I got to get to where I got to go. So I kind of went a little, I got to like 50, you know, it's 5 over. That's what? That's perfectly fine. You know, I was told 15 over. You know, I was
super speeder.
that's max. That's like max. Like you can't go 15 over. Like, that's what I was told. And anyways, and that's what I read on the, you know, the laws because I get my license and everything. Anyways, so
I didn't read that part.
so, you know, I got in front of him and then Brody was on my ass. Like literally I was going to speed limit. I was going 50 instead of 45 because I seen he was getting closer. And I'm just like, cops do that to like, yes, make you go faster, but also to try to like make you speed up so they can pull you over.
Yeah, like I said, are they bored? Because genuinely they want something to do.
They could be.
Yeah, exactly. And it depends on what time it is because if it's at the end of the month and they haven't hit their quota of tickets, then they can just give you like a basic ticket, you know, just so they can hit their quota.
I check.
Exactly. And, you know, it's just like there's a lot of people have gotten like messed up tickets for no reason. And it's just like, dude, come on. Yeah. And me personally, I want to have like a good, nice car. Maybe a little, little loud. Maybe a little, you
nice
know, make a little
vroom.
noise. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm not trying to get pulled over because you have illegal modding on your car. I'm like, what's illegal in there? Go check that right now, please. I'll tell you. Tell me what's illegal if you know.
He's like, your tint is too dark. You sure?
Sure. I'll show you the scale right now.
Yep.
Matter of fact, I have all the shades.
Trust me.
You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to be secure to the point where it's just like I can prove my point with knowledge. Not with just emotions, because once you start using emotions, they just get fired up. And they're like, "Oh, I can use this against you for sure." Like, are you resisting? And I'm like, bro, I'm just letting you know. I know what I know. I know what I need to know about my vehicle, about my rights, everything. You know, and it's just a lot of people. Like I said, they don't know.
Fucking offensive. Like they just want to.
They're just like, bro, I'm not doing anything, bro. Why are you pulling me over? It's like, dog. He's like, no, sir, I'm not. Here you go. This is my license, my registration. I appreciate that. Have a good day. This and that, this and that. It's like, do you know why I pulled you over? This is my license, my registration. You don't need to know any of that. This and that. Like, what I get pulled over for? Like,
they ask.
And that's the thing. Yeah, if
they can just
if
bullshit
you get
something.
pulled over, it has to be for a reason. It has to be probable cause.
Exactly.
If they start asking you for information, you don't have to give it to them unless they suspect you of a crime.
Exactly. So, speaking of that, I just wanted to know: have you ever been pulled over?
Thank God I have not.
Knock on wood.
Nice. And if that sadly would have happened, how would you take it? Like, you know, how would you go with that? Like, I'm saying, like, how would that process go? What would you do step by step if you could let us know?
So I would want to move to somewhere secure. If I'm on like the freeway, you know, if the shoulder's wide enough, then yeah, maybe there, or I'll get up on the next exit. I do carry, and so making sure that my weapon is not near me, or in my hand or somewhere visible, making sure that I have my hands on the steering wheel. I would probably already have my window down to talk to the officer. And if I could pull out my license and stuff already, even though, again, you don't have to give them anything unless they suspect you of a crime. You don't have to give them any information. But just to have all those things ready in case they do come up with something to suspect
Right.
you of, having all of that accessible in their view so that you're not digging for anything. It keeps you safe, essentially. And if they ask, you know, do you have any weapons on you? I do. It's under my passenger seat, you know, so that at least they know it's not accessible to me right now.
So it's far from you, the actual, you know, the person, so they can't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, with gun laws, can you like elaborate more on just the gun laws in general? What people need to know, like thoroughly, that could cause them to have repercussions that could, you know, get their, I want to say their license just taken away or anything like that.
Knowing your gun laws for your state are really important because every state is different. Some allow open carry, some only allow like concealed carry. And then knowing the state laws around your state, especially if you travel out of state. So Georgia no longer requires you to have a license to conceal carry, but the Georgia carry license is valid in the surrounding states. So some of the surrounding states may
Okay.
still have the requirement that you need a license. And so still having that is good.
Better be safe than sorry.
Way better to be safe than sorry. I got my license before there was no need for the license. And so I was like, well, I'll just keep it in case I go, you know, to another state. At least I have it. Especially when crossing state lines, you have to know what the laws are into the state you're going into. Because, for example, if your state's fine with it, but 2 states over where you're traveling, you're not allowed to carry in your car without a license, you can get in trouble for that. If you get pulled over and they find a gun and you have no license, you can't be like, oh, well, I mean, in my state, it's not required. Okay, well, in this state it is, and you just cross lines. So
Right.
you have to be knowledgeable of where you're going, the laws of where you're going. And also knowing smaller laws, like carrying them into stores and stuff. You're not allowed to carry in federal buildings. That's just a given.
Okay.
You can't carry in federal buildings.
Yeah.
But for example, a grocery store or a mall that has like no weapon sign, that's not law. So you can technically carry in there. I wouldn't recommend showing it,
Right. No.
but if
Conceal
you
it.
can, conceal it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
No,
Exactly.
I understand. Which is crazy. Actually, we went to go play pool one time. And
we did went to
we
go
went to go
play
play pool
pool.
one time, and then there was this one guy. He just had his
He had it on him.
He had it on his hip, and it wasn't concealed at all. It was just out, and we're just like, okay. You know, the thing is like, there's no like, I don't get a certain way when I see it. I'm just acknowledging it, and I'm just
Precautious.
like, I'm precautious. I'm just like, okay, like,
I just looked at the exits. I'm like, all right, if
Yeah.
something goes down, I know where I'm going.
right, and it's
Be
just
very
like,
observant.
And
Yeah.
homie was drinking too, so that's
So
why I was
that
just
was-
like. That's why I was just like, dude, you're drinking, you have a firearm. I do not feel safe in this building right now.
One bad move and it's
Yeah.
going downhill for all of us.
It's not wise to carry while drinking.
Exactly.
At all.
I feel like it's dumb. Like, I feel like you shouldn't, like, that should be I don't think you can't drink while you can't.
I actually don't know, but I
Interesting.
don't think so. I mean, you probably could get in trouble for like public drunkenness.
Right. Okay. But yeah, I mean, other than that, like,
At the
you know,
pool hall, though.
yeah, we were at the pool hall.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of people like drinking and whatnot, and we're just over here just playing, just playing pool, just chilling. You know, having a good time and whatnot.
For
But-
someone that studies that or that wants to do that, what are your thoughts on people that get accused for things that they didn't do?
Okay. Now listen, that's a very difficult thing to dissect, really. Because you need to have evidence to prove someone's guilt, and unfortunately, you need evidence to prove your innocence.
right, because everyone is guilty till proven innocent, correct?
Innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, see, no, I was trying to see if you got it
And
right.
that's the thing,
Okay,
you're
yeah.
supposed to prove guilt, but a lot of times you have to prove your innocence.
Right, exactly.
And so, although it does suck, especially if you are being convicted of something that you didn't do, just be prepared for a very lengthy, difficult trial because, and costly if you can't get a lawyer to do it pro bono.
What's that?
Pro bono is like volunteer work.
Oh, okay.
So lawyers or law firms can do pro bono cases maybe like once or a couple times a year. It depends on how big the law firm is, I guess. Or lawyers individually volunteer to do volunteer cases.
Oh, so they just do it for the free? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
What,
I mean, that's really cool.
What exactly is that like? What are the chances of having that? Like some
Yeah,
like a
so it's a little difficult to
Yeah.
find one that'll do it.
yeah.
But I know, do you know what the Innocence Project is? So the Innocence Project helps to exonerate people convicted of things that they say they didn't do.
Right.
So if they're incarcerated in prison or jail, then they can get help through this project called the Innocence Project, which provides lawyers to reopen their cases and appeal and, fight for them to be exonerated.
Right.
With that being said, I don't think that the Innocence Project has like their own lawyers. I don't think, I haven't looked into it as much, but I know that lawyers do volunteer with them.
Right. Okay. Okay,
And
that's good to know.
so, yeah, we'll partner with them to help.
Wow. All right. Oh well, I mean, going back to these lawyers, I've actually I've watched Suits, so I feel like no, I'm just kidding.
He's knowledgeable, guys.
I am knowledge. No, I'm just messing. But like, no, it's just like like a lot of shows that have to do with laws and whatnot. I feel like it's very interesting because a lot of lawyers just know how to talk,
Yes.
and that's oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
my grandpa's a lawyer, and
Really?
sometimes he stares me down when he's talking. I'm like, I didn't do
Listen,
anything.
I'm not accused
like
of
I'm
anything,
innocent. Yeah, but he has a good character. I like him.
No, he's a cool guy. Yeah, he's a chill guy.
so-
You know what I mean?
He's a nice chap.
Yeah, he's a good chap, But yeah, so I've actually seen a lot of lawyers like they just manipulate people into a sense. It's just like, so what you're saying is, and then they just reword everything. They just say like, no, I didn't say that. I said this, and like, wait, so you're trying to admit, it's just they reword a lot of things just so they can get their way, and it's just like, oh,
They're
like,
good at their jobs.
yeah, and it's
for
just
sure.
wow, dog. Like, I
Definitely good at their jobs.
can't wait to see you do that. You
People
know what I'm
ask
saying?
me like, "Oh, did you get into this because you like to argue?" And I was like, "No, I like to win arguments."
There's a difference.
There's a
okay?
different.
Like we can talk, but
Facts.
no, I'm winning the conversation. Like
Yeah.
I'm, you know what I mean? I'm winning this whole thing.
How satisfying is it to win? Like,
I feel like it's so satisfying
Like,
because
I
it's
rest
like
my
a
case.
yeah,
drop the mic on him.
Literally.
the power walk out and everything. It's great. But I also think that it's great when you get the right person.
Okay.
So I think that's something that's difficult for a lot of people working in this field
Yeah, definitely.
because you have to either convince yourself and others that somebody is responsible and guilty. And sometimes, like, that person might be innocent.
Okay.
But if you believe it or if you believe you have enough evidence against them,
Yeah.
you could be responsible for putting them away, whether they're guilty or not. And so I think it's very difficult, especially if you put someone away who didn't commit it, but they have a lot of evidence against them. A lot of times cases are circumstantial.
Oh,
So direct evidence is like you getting caught on camera.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah, you did it. But circumstantial
saw you.
evidence is like, oh, your phone pinged in this location
It's like, bro.
where this crime was committed. You have no alibi, things that can connect you to it. And there are instances where there is a lot of circumstantial evidence against people and they actually didn't do it.
Yeah.
But everything points to them.
and they get accused, and it's just like, oh, going to jail. It's
Exactly.
like, I never freaking like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Is a
Wrong
prime
place, wrong time.
example. A prime example of that could be like a kid being a witness.
Perhaps depending on how old the kid is. You know about the Central Park 5 or the Exonerated 5?
No.
It took place, I don't even remember what year it was, but it was forever ago. In Central Park, there was a woman found unconscious, beaten, and assaulted. And the police arrested 5 teenagers
Oh,
Okay.
and coerced them physically, verbally to admit
they did
to
it.
the attack.
Wow.
Dang.
And a lot of them, because they were older, like maybe 16 or whatever, they tried to drag the case out until they turned 18 or until they were
So they
almost
can put 'em
18 so they
down,
can
yeah.
put them in as adults and lock them away for life. And then I guess some of the kids, were younger on the younger end, so they went to like juvenile detentions. But all of them ended up having to register on the sex offender registry and stuff. And so that affected their life even after they got out. And eventually the case was brought up again and appealed, and they were all exonerated because somebody confessed to the crime.
Wow.
Someone eventually confessed years and years later. And so what those 5 kids and now men went through, they can't get those years back. And, you know, it's hard to...
It's sad. Now, considering they were considering they were registered in the sex offenders list, or they were underregistered now after, or like, do you know if that?
I actually don't know. I want to say yes, but because I think did they plead guilty? I think some of them either pled guilty or I don't know, because plea deals are a thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes they work for the better, sometimes they work for the worst.
Right.
As far as working for the better, if you actually did it, then the plea deal can help you, you know, not get on death row.
That's true.
But if you didn't do it, a plea deal is you accepting a lesser charge because you might be found guilty anyway. But now you've accepted that charge.
You're guilty. Like,
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no,
admitting
dude.
it after, like, what made you now? admit
Right.
it? You could have just done it. You just ruined someone else's life.
Yeah.
No, I mean that person must have gone through like the person that admitted to it like later. It's just like imagine like everything that was going through their head because they were like, oh my god, these kids got accused of that.
The
That I did.
conscience. His conscience.
Like
was
his conscience was killing
Yeah.
him.
killing him.
And I think he admitted it while he was in prison. He was already in for life, so I guess he was like, well, might as well now.
Yeah, I mean,
He's like,
this
wow,
is-
that's fucking
we ain't leaving. So,
so fucked, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Ruined a lot of people's lives over that.
Literally. Oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna lie, those stories are. I mean, it may sound kind of creepy, but they're interesting. All
Yeah,
those
they are.
killings
Yeah, no.
and the
There's
serial
a
killers
show
and-
about it. I think it's on Netflix.
Forensic
I
Files?
saw it when it first came out. I think it's called When They See Us. I
I've
think
actually
that's-
seen that. Yeah.
I think that's what it's called.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. This has nothing to do. Well, it has to do with shows. But have you watched Forensic Files and whatnot? And like,
Yes.
Criminal Minds too.
Oh yes.
Hell yeah. Okay. Out of
Have you
all,
seen FBI?
Yes,
Yeah, it's
I
really
actually have.
good.
Yeah, it's actually been really good. Out of all of like the criminal shows, like all of that, which one is your favorite?
Ooh, that's really hard to choose
I
from.
know,
I
right?
think that I like binge one of them and then move on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also really like the documentaries, like the actual documentaries that show you the evidence and stuff like that. And so while you're watching it, you can like start dissecting it yourself and figuring it out. And so
Watching other stuff.
yeah, it's very interesting. So I think I like the documentaries more now.
Okay, valid. Okay, that's really cool. Because in my class in high school, we had like a criminal class or like some criminal science class, and it was my last year, and I actually really found that so interesting because we did a lot of things with like fingerprints. We did a lot with your blood, like rigor mortis, like all these just trying to see
Yes.
like how your body would react to certain times, and like if you were dead at this time, and like your liver or your heart, like everything was cold. Or something. I don't know. It had to do with temperatures, and you could tell how long a person was dead for, depending on their body temperature and whatnot. It was really cool. Just finding out all of that, and it's just like, wow, dude. Yeah, like blood splatter. That looks so difficult to like just determine. Yeah, dude. But dude, if you see like the classes that they take for that, it's amazing. It's so interesting.
Yeah, investigations are so detailed now. The fact that you can find details from the smallest thing about a case, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, so this could have happened because this is what this blood spatter looks like. So it's very interesting.
It's like
It
a
brings
blunt
up a
force
lot
object
of
to the
theories and conversations to the table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like unsolved mysteries.
Oh,
have you heard about
those?
those?
Are crazy, dude.
Yeah.
See, it makes you want to solve it, but then you're just like, if they didn't do it, shit, how can I solve it?
And
But
then
you never
I get
know.
frustrated watching them because I'm like, I want to know who did it. Like, I want to find out who it
And you don't know if
was.
they're, that could be your neighbor. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they'd be crazy. Not obviously not, but you never know.
Never know.
Never know.
Exactly.
Have you heard about the John Bonet one?
Yes. Okay. That one, I honestly feel like they're never gonna solve it.
Hold on,
because-
talk to me. I don't know what's up.
You don't know what John Bonet? This is a long story.
Ooh, it's such a long story.
It's like a little girl that used to do like pageants and all that stuff.
Okay.
And she was killed on Christmas. And they blame it on the parents, on her brother, and they just don't know who really did it.
Oh wow.
And they like cleared the family because of DNA evidence. So they cleared the family, but people are still like, maybe the family paid someone.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they haven't been able to solve this case yet.
Crazy. Oh my god.
This happened forever ago.
I mean, a lot of
Jesus.
stuff happens forever ago that haven't
Yeah.
been solved, but at the same time, it's like we're at a point where we could solve it, but yet all the evidence is gone, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, it's actually amazing.
Look
though.
into it
Not
more.
amazing, but it's interesting. Sorry. So I just wanted to ask. So this may be a weird question, but who is your favorite serial killer or most interesting serial killer? I should say.
Okay, so
You too. By the way.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you too.
I don't know necessarily. I think that there are like some that I get fixated on every once in a while.
Right.
Like I got fixated on Ted Bundy for a time. I got fixated on Dahmer. And so, yeah, I think it's just whatever I'm fixated on at that moment. Because once I find a case, I like dig deep
just like,
into
ooh,
it.
You can get the shovel
What
out.
the Menendez brothers?
Oh yeah, that
Bro.
one was that one was crazy.
Yeah. What's it called? John Wayne Gracie or Gacy?
Gacy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another one. Ooh, there
That
like
was during the same time as Dahmer also. So
a lot of stuff. And then H.H. Holmes
Yeah, the
H.H.
first known
Holmes.
serial killer in Chicago.
in Chicago. Yep, he had his own.
yeah.
He had his own hotel for committing murders. I remember Christmas
crazy.
Day, he actually killed a mom that was giving birth while he was. Yeah, so he was helping her give birth.
I need to look into this one.
He literally killed both. He did a 2-for-1. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
on Christmas Day.
awful.
Like
It's
it
awful.
was crazy.
It was during like it was like a fair going on.
Yeah, it was a fair in
Yeah,
Chicago.
so
Yeah.
he was just
He was just taking people out, and then
In
the
the
thing
hotel.
is during like actual building of it, like when they were constructing it, he actually what's it called, had a few workers that accidentally died because of things like that. But you know what happened though? The insurance, that they had life insurance because he told them to get on it, and that suddenly they died, and he got money from that.
It's actually really messed up,
it
but
was
quite smart.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
because
how
they're
smart he was.
construction
the dude was
workers, so-
freaking. He was a genius.
He's
mentally.
so smart, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But
They called him him like the devil Satan himself.
Yeah.
Because they're at the way he died was like in a jail, and the jail burned down, and the only thing that didn't burn was his picture.
yeah, I
Oh,
know.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember, like he said, I remember in reading the book, it was like his first kill. Okay, wow, was his one of his best friends. Yeah, or like one of his close friends.
that's
They took him
heartless.
to like a random, like a scary burned down house, and like they were just playing around, messing around, and then there was a big hole, pushed him down there, and he fell into a lot of poles and sticks, and he just got impaled, and then he just went along his day. It was like, wow, this has been crazy. Like it's crazy how many psychopaths, a lot of killers are out there, but you know what? There's a lot of things that go on, but it's life.
I'm not a sicko, but I low-key kind of like the Zodiac one.
Zodiac
I was
killer?
just looking at a documentary about him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that no one admitted to it, and he actually went to go watch the movie.
Wait, what?
He was in the theater when it first
Wow.
opened, allegedly.
Interesting.
Damn, that's crazy.
Very interesting.
Wow. Well, listen, this has been an amazing pod. This has been an amazing session.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been a great.
We started
episode.
off the year nice.
Yeah, seriously. We appreciate you being on here. Seriously.
you.
We
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
you
Yeah.
and Bull being here, of course.
sure.
You know what I mean? Hopefully we can get you on for another episode. Hopefully an
Yes,
After Dark.
I'd love
for
to.
sure. We'd love to have you
Love
on
to.
there. Is there anything you want to say
To the people?
To the people. One last thing.
Just know your rights, guys. They're accessible to you.
Yep.
Know them and enforce them
There you go.
Yeah.
respectfully.
Yeah, that's
Respectfully.
true. That's true. Yeah, for sure. All right, you guys, listen. If you guys are watching or listening on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys are listening on Spotify, make sure to like and give it a 5-star rating, of course, and download it, of course. Okay. Now it's been fun, man. It's been Matt.
It's been chillo.
I'm Kingdom.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.
Peace.
Bye.